Everybody be quiet, quiet. Now everybody be quiet. Quit talking, just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Why you talking so much? Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Quit talking so much. Just shut up.
What's up, folks? Welcome back. It's your boy Drew with High Fight IQ. Today we are looking into some more stuff from King Ben Fazul. And if you watched the last video, you'll remember I said to keep in mind the comparison between him and Andrew Tate. This is where that comes into play. It appears that King Fazul is not too savory a character. Who saw that coming? The video we're watching today is from John Bravo Films. Shout out to Johnny B, and shout out to the rest of the homies in the WDC.
I uncovered something that I wish I never saw, because it's so dirty and evil and unbelievable, and something that I didn't think is possible for a human being to do to another person.
Just as a forewarning, there is going to be some graphically described content in this one.
So do you guys know who this King Azoulay is? I like to call him King Asshole.
This fucking asshole?
He does this all for social media fame, because he's trying to sell programs to kids to try to teach them to become men. But while I was investigating all the bullshit lies this asshole's telling to see if any of it's true, I uncovered something that I wish I never saw, because it's so dirty and evil and unbelievable, and something that I didn't think is possible for a human being to do to another person. The last thing this asshole should ever be doing is anything involving children.
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit so that I don't give away all of John Bravo's video. If you want to see the full thing, highly recommend it. Go check out John Bravo Films.
Remember that story? I came up with some things, and I thought they were funny. Remember that story where he said he beat his shins with a bat to make him tough? And I said he's thinking he's Van Damme in that scene of Kickboxer where Van Damme is kicking that tree with the old man and his Sharmuta daughter watching, right? And I said this asshole King Azoulay thinks he's in that movie.
That is a real thing, shin conditioning. I don't recommend doing it with a bat. I don't recommend anybody doing it, really. You should just condition your shins by kicking the heavy bag. It's all the shin conditioning that you need.
Well, I was right, because he talks about here how much he was in love with Van Damme.
You know, growing up, I mean, the movies that I grew up on was like Jean-Claude Van Damme. That was my dream, to be the next Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We can tell, bro.
Before him, it was Bruce Lee. Then we had Steven Seagal. We had Arnold. We had Sylvester Stallone. We had Jet Li. Jackie Chan.
Just naming every fucking action star he can think of. Don't get me wrong, I was raised on these individuals' movies as well. I was influenced by guys like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, obviously the Ninja Turtles. I was influenced by these people too. I was influenced by these things. That's why I got into martial arts at 4 years old, and that's why I've lived the life of a martial artist ever since. He's clearly a guy that was just influenced by all of these alpha male roles growing up, which I'm not hating on, I was too. This is just him trying to cosplay as one of those guys.
So then, you know what he says? He said there was one time in his life that he got his ass kicked. So you know what he did? He said he went home and got an Uzi and took it out on all the kids in school.
Oh my gosh, bro. He may be from overseas, but he definitely drives a lifted truck with a Skin Industries sticker in this picture. This picture was definitely taken during his tap out era.
I got my ass kicked one time in my life. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. After that, I purchased an Uzi. Nobody ever jumped me again. Nobody ever said anything again. I was ready to die, and I was ready to take everybody with me.
Is this the same story that you were telling about taking on 30 dudes and they couldn't take you out? Here you're saying that that's the only time you ever got your ass kicked. Based off just what I know about you, I'm not surprised that there was 30 dudes that wanted to fuck you up.
Went into the world of doing underground fights. And doing underground fights was amazing for me because I fought people that were much older than me. I was 16 years old, but I was making about $2,000 to $3,000 a fight. So I started doing underground fights at about the age of 15.
I don't doubt that there are underground fights that happen, but I doubt that this dude was a part of any of them. And there's no fucking way that at 15, 16, 17 years old, this dude was such a great underground fighter that anybody was paying him $2,000 to $3,000 a fight. There are professional fighters that don't make $2,000 to $3,000 a fight. And by the way, that's what makes you a professional fighter. If you guys didn't know, the difference between an amateur fighter and a professional is that the professional gets paid for the fight. Once you start getting paid for fights, you can't go back down to amateur. This dude is saying that he was an underground professional fighter in his mid-teenage years.
The way it started, I was at a hookah bar. So I got into it with some of these guys and I ended up beating the fuck out of 6 of them.
How old do you have to be to get into a hookah bar?
They were all older than me. A guy pulls out a gun and tells me to stop. I look at him and I say, shoot me. I'm not gonna shoot you, what's your name? So the fuck are you to ask me my name? I said, shoot me.
I said, I'm not gonna stop fucking everybody up in this hookah bar. You're gonna have to shoot me. This guy wants to be Jean-Claude Van Damme so bad.
He said, no. I want you to be one of us. And when he found out I was 15, he was shocked. Like we're talking somebody from the mob. And I started doing underground fights for him. I also was his bodyguard for a while.
A 15-year-old bodyguard. When did this happen? Was this during your Israeli counterterrorism years? Or your homeless years? Or your Buddhist monk years? Or was it during your prison years? When was this undisputed underground fight club going on for you, bro?
So this is where the story turns. And I wanted to go back to the beginning where he claims he was in prison, right? I wanted to see if he ever was in prison, or if it's another one of his bullshit stories.
This is where it gets good. Shout out to John Bravo. Should be Journalist of the Year. I'd vote for him for president. I'll run as vice president if you want to, Johnny. Let's go.
He's only talked about it once. And he said that he went to prison for something that he didn't do.
And after that, I got arrested. I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it.
Never have I uncovered something as dark, evil, and sad as I did when I was doing this. So prepare yourself, because this is not a joke, this is not funny, this is actually a serious story, and I want you guys to prepare for what I'm going to tell you. He was 18 years old. He went to a party with his brother and a bunch of his other friends. They see a girl there, 15 years old.
God, just makes me... Ugh. I'm a pretty cerebral, serene guy. I don't hate much. I hate people who do shit like this and having to hear about it.
A cheerleader, beautiful girl from high school. The party, they're all there having a good time. Him and his brother and the other friend and a few other people tell the girl, hey, come back to the party at my parents' house. We'll stop by the liquor store. We'll get some liquor. We have fake IDs. We'll have fun. We'll party. So the girl listens. She goes. She's naive. And I don't think she ever expected to happen what happened. Ben, King Asshole, his brother, Dylan, and another kid. They're all Israeli, so I guess they're very close. They all took turns taking advantage of her.
This is the type of stuff that makes me want to night watchman vigilante my way through the rest of life.
This is a lawsuit by a young woman stemming from a brutal R and S assault committed against her by defendants Ben Azoulay, Dylan Azoulay, both of them are brothers, and Mayor Varid, who was their friend.
In 2008, he was 18 years old. I turned 18 at the end of 2006, so I was 20 years old when this happened.
At the time, H, which I had to shorten her name because I do not want her identity revealed. At the time, H was only 15 years old and a virgin. A highly intoxicated H is repeatedly and forcibly AR'd by at least 3 of the defendants while the others stand by and watch.
You guys ever notice how it's always these alpha male fucking dipshits who claim that women flock to them, that always have some sort of shady needing to force themselves onto women type of shit in their past?
H was forcibly dragged into a bedroom by Ben, who stripped of her clothes, forced her to perform OS on him, and then oral blank on her against her will. Ben then proceeded to brutally force himself upon H, beating her and AR'd her against her will. Other boys, including Dylan and Mayer, watched while this was going on, but made no effort to stop Ben.
Because that's what alpha males do.
In fact, each time she attempted to escape, she was pulled back into the room and subjected to further S assault. After Ben had finished ravaging H, he passed her to his brother Dylan, who dragged her from Ben's room to Dylan's room. While R-ing her, he bit her on the neck and Dylan and Ben then flipped H onto her stomach, face down, and she was again R-ed from behind by both.
These are the types of guys that you're sending your money to in exchange for alpha male coaching.
After being repeatedly R-ed by Ben and Dylan inside the house, Ben and Dylan moved H to a couch in the backyard. Ben and Dylan watched, but did nothing to stop Mayer.
It's crazy how these like disciplined alpha male motherfuckers always just stand by and watch shit like this happen. You would think growing up with such morals, being a fucking Buddhist monk and being Israeli counterterrorism and all of this other shit, would you not step in? Why would you just watch this? Why would you partake in this? I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme would have fucked all them dudes up and delivered the woman back home safely. This is not very Van Damme of you, bro.
Ben, Dylan, and Mayer were subsequently arrested and interviewed by the police. Ben and Dylan also informed the police that they had watched Mayer R.H. Ben was prosecuted as an adult. Dylan and Mayer were both charged as minors. Ben admitted his guilt in open court and was convicted on the charge of violating Penal Code Section 288, blank with a minor.
Admitted his guilt, even though just a second ago he was saying, I got arrested for something that I didn't do.
So I saw there was a civil case where they were suing Ben, his brother, the family, but it ended up in a default. And I didn't know if this girl, did she ever get anything? Because don't forget, this asshole, he says he's a millionaire now, you know? Did this girl ever get anything? So what I did is I reached out to my lawyer and he went over the files and this is what he had to say.
What's up, you piece of shit? Happy to chime in here. All right, so at the end of this, we see they had a confidential settlement, which is the most likely outcome, because we then see that this dipshit attempted to sue the homeowner's insurance of the house in which the assault occurred in.
Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid. You just admitted guilt and were charged for R-wording a minor who was a virgin, and your next plan of action is to sue the people that own the house in which you did it. How did he ever get out? Why is he free right now? Why is he not only able to make content and charge people for coaching? Why is he free? How do people like this not live under the prison forever?
Now, whether or not he's paid, anybody knows, you know. I doubt it. Looking at his track record, as I'm sure you saw, got quite the laundry list of open and closed cases just out of Los Angeles County. So clearly he's not unfamiliar with the system, and be hard pressed to think that he's making those payments. But who knows? Hopefully a little pressure can make him do the right thing.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about this until that little girl owns everything of yours, bro.
Start to wonder with these things, you know, I know he's married now. Does his wife even know about this story?
She does now. There's some that I cut out, not much left. If you want to go watch that full video, highly recommend it. John Bravo Films. Shout out to John Bravo. You're doing the Lord's work, bro. So as you guys can see, as we are constantly informing you guys of people that you see flexing on Instagram, people that you see claiming to be alpha males, people that you see encouraging you to send them money in exchange for advice on how to become the type of alpha male that they've become. First of all, they are not even really that type of alpha male. The type of man that you guys should be aspiring to be does not require you to pay somebody to teach you how to do it. And second of all, not only are these individuals not alpha males, they are the scum of the earth. They are low-life, high school dropout, drug addict, career criminal bullshitters, pathological liars, narcissists, egomaniacs, you name it. There is no reason anyone should be sending them money for anything. And not only should they not be sent money for anything, this dude should have every single cent that he's ever made go directly to the victim of this crime for the rest of all time. And he should have to pay that from behind bars at the very least. I'm not going to say how exactly I think it should be dealt with, but I will say that at the very least, this guy should have never left a fucking prison cell. So there you go, guys. There's some more on King Fazul. Hopefully you guys are able to see through bullshit like this as easily as the WDC does, but if not, now you guys know. Go check out the video, subscribe to John Bravo Films. That's it for today. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
We live in a time when anyone, they can pretty much buy fame. And that power that exists can cause the wrong people to get famous.
Everybody be quiet, quiet. Now everybody be quiet. Quit talking, just shut up.